Tonight I'm making creamy roasted tomato sauce and pasta, but I'm not roasting it in the oven. I'm roasting it in the skillet. So let's get started with this recipe. It's going to be really fast. You're going to have your dinner ready in no time. You could also grill some chicken to go with this if you wanted a protein to go along with it. I'm starting off in a skillet with some olive oil and putting my heat on medium. So we're going to put a couple tablespoons of olive oil. I've washed 4 tomatoes. I'm going to core them and leave the skin on. Okay, my olive oil is getting heated up. We're going to add these to the skillet. And keep in mind, I have this on medium heat. You can add all of these tomatoes. You could do 4 or 5. I'm going to do 4. And I'm going to cover and let that steam. So I'm going to go ahead and, while the tomatoes are steaming, I'm going to dice about half of an onion to add to the skillet. My water is boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and add about 12 ounces of pasta. You're going to steam your tomatoes until the peeling starts to just lift off. So I'm going to check it and let's see what it looks like. The peeling is loosening up, and I'm going to take that off. We're still going to let these cook until they are softened, but I'm going to go ahead and get this done and add the garlic and onions. It takes about 15 minutes for this, depending on how soft your tomatoes are or how ripe they are. A couple of these tomatoes were not quite as ripe, so they're taking just a little bit longer to soften up. Let's add the onion right there in the center. Just let that cook as the tomatoes finish cooking. I'm also adding a couple of cloves of roasted garlic. I've chopped these up. I'm just going to put them in there. I have about a teaspoon of sea salt that I'm adding, about a teaspoon of basil, and just for a little kick, I'm going to add a few red pepper flakes, some black pepper. We're going to replace the lid and let that cook. If you have an emulsion blender, you can take it and blend these up right in the skillet. So we're just going to quickly give this a little blend, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to be truthful. If I were you, I would pour this into a bowl and blend it up in a bowl because I've gotten this all over the place. After you have it blended, we're going to add a 1/4 of a cup of chicken broth and about a 1/4 of a cup to a 1/3 of a cup of cream, heavy cream. I'm just going to take a spoon and stir that and let that simmer for about 5 more minutes. And my pasta is ready, and we'll be having dinner in no time. After it has simmered for just a few minutes, we're going to go ahead and add about a 1/2 cup of ricotta cheese. So that was a little over a 1/4. Let me add just a little bit more. I'm going to stir that in. And I'm going to taste it to see if it needs more seasoning. Okay, we have it simmering really good. So I'm going to turn my heat off because I don't want it to stick and burn. So let's give this a taste. I'm going to go ahead and salt it a little bit more. Another 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And stirring that in. Then we're going to add the pasta. I've drained my pasta, and I reserved a little bit of the pasta water. Always reserve a little bit, just in case your sauce is too thick. It's best to add pasta water than just plain water. So we're going to go ahead and add our pasta to the sauce. This looks so delicious. Creamy, creamy sauce.